Hot comedy doesn't announce itself politely. It explodes. One moment the crowd is settling. The next moment Officer Yerima opens his mouth. Realwarripikin raises an eyebrow, and the entire venue loses control. Laughter doesn't ripple, it scatters. If you enjoy moments where comedy feels dangerous, unpredictable, and completely alive, subscribe now and stay till the very end. Because what unfolds here is not just jokes. It's a masterclass in live performance chaos done right. This is the kind of performance people talk about the next day at work, in buses, in barber shops. The kind where you hear, "You should have been there." If you love African comedy at its rawest and smartest, hit subscribe and commit to watching till the end. Because the biggest moments don't come early. They sneak up on you when you think the show has peaked. By the time this story is done, you'll understand why a simple live comedy set can overpower music concerts and motivational talks combined. So subscribe, stay locked in, and watch to the end, because the real magic happens when the comedians stop trying to be funny and just become themselves. The shock hits instantly. Officer Yerima doesn't walk on stage like a comedian. He arrives like trouble wearing confidence. The crowd thinks they know what's coming. But within seconds, the room realizes this is not rehearsed humor. It's controlled madness. A single line lands, then another, and suddenly laughter becomes uncontrollable. People bend forward, clutch stomachs, gasp for air. This is not comedy warming up. This is comedy ambushing its audience. What makes it worse, in the best way, is that Realwarripikin doesn't rush in to save anyone. She lets the tension breathe. She lets the laughter stretch until it hurts. Then she steps in, calm, surgical, and flips the entire energy with one statement that sounds innocent but detonates in the room. The crowd doesn't recover, they surrender. Two different styles, one battlefield. That contrast is deadly. There's a reason live comedy like this feels different from skits online. In that moment, nothing is edited, nothing is filtered, nothing is paused. Officer Yerima feeds off the crowd's reactions, exaggerating authority, mocking everyday discipline, turning familiar figures into hilarious mirrors. The audience isn't just laughing, they're recognizing themselves, their bosses, their uncles, their neighbors. Recognition fuels laughter faster than jokes ever could. Realwarripikin's timing is where the room truly collapses. She doesn't chase punchlines, she waits for silence. When silence finally shows up, she breaks it with a line so casual it feels like an afterthought. That's when the biggest laughter comes. It's the confidence of someone who knows the crowd is already hers. Comedy becomes conversation, not performance. As the set unfolds, something interesting happens. The crowd stops being an audience and becomes a participant. People shout back, clap mid-sentence, finish jokes in their heads before they're said. Officer Yerima leans into this, stretching moments, pretending to lose control, then snapping back with authority. The laughter grows louder because unpredictability keeps everyone alert. There's a raw African flavor to this humor that cannot be imported or copied. It pulls from street logic, daily struggles, respect culture, power dynamics, and social absurdities everyone understands but rarely says out loud. That's why the jokes land harder. They're not foreign concepts. They're lived experiences exaggerated just enough to explode. The chemistry between Officer Yerima and Realwarripikin becomes the engine of the night. One pushes forward aggressively, the other redirects with sharp intelligence. When one slows down, the other accelerates. It feels unscripted, yet perfectly balanced. The crowd senses this harmony, and their laughter becomes continuous, almost rhythmic. Halfway through, you can feel the shift. This is no longer just a funny show, it's a moment people will remember. Phones come out not for recording, but because people need proof they were here. The performers sense it too. They stretch jokes longer, lean deeper into characters, and take risks that only work in live settings. Officer Yerima escalates the authority persona until it becomes absurd, turning power into parody. Realwarripikin counters by grounding everything in sharp observations that slice through the exaggeration. The push and pull keeps the crowd on edge. Every pause feels like a setup for disaster. Every sentence threatens another explosion of laughter. Then come the subtle callbacks. Lines from earlier reappear unexpectedly, hitting harder because the audience remembers. Laughter doubles. People who thought they had recovered break again. This is where experienced comedians separate themselves from amateurs. Memory becomes ammunition. As the energy peaks again, Realwarripikin delivers a calm line that feels almost too simple. That simplicity becomes the loudest moment of the night. The room erupts because restraint, used correctly, is more powerful than noise. The laughter here isn't just loud, it's respectful. Officer Yerima closes his segment not by shouting, but by letting the crowd finish the joke emotionally. He steps back, lets the noise roll, and owns the silence afterward. That silence is victory. Everyone knows they've just witnessed something special. The final moments don't drag, they glide. The performers read the room, sense fatigue mixed with joy, and land softly. No force. No desperation, just confidence. The crowd stands, still laughing, still shaking heads, still replaying moments in their minds. This isn't just hot comedy, it's cultural release. It's shared understanding. It's proof that when comedians trust their voice and the crowd, laughter becomes unstoppable. And as the lights fade and the noise settles, one truth remains clear. This wasn't just a performance you watched. It was an experience you survived.